Excellent. Next, we have a question from Ferd in Blanding.
Hello.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Always, yes, Congressman Lee. Good. I'm glad I could get on. I have a question on this. What we can do, all the letter writings in the world is not going to stop him from making this monument if he wants to, and how we can persuade and let him know that this is not needed or wanted, because we've got the Glen Canyon Recreation Area, all these parks, and you spend the rest of your life, you never get to see the recreation area out of Glen Canyon. We can't even recreate on it, but it's a recreation area. It's all closed to everything but a motorboat. I have we're living here in the county for 70 years. 1946, in the 40s, you couldn't even get out to Height, except up through the Bears Ears on Highway 95. And in 1957, they made the road up Moki Dugway, and that left vehicle access. But before that, you could only get to the Bears Ears on horseback up through Combe Wash. And I've never seen any archaeology looting as long as I've lived and been out there and recreated out there in four-wheeling. And I was wondering why, if we can get a hold on this and stop what is going to happen, probably.
Yeah.
Appreciate your comments.
Oh, thank you, sir. Look, I agree with you. We as Utahns have been good stewards of the land, and I think it's helpful to let President Obama know that, and to tell stories like those that you just told, that for a very long time, Utahns have taken good care of these archaeological sites. We've taken good care of our land. We're not out to pillage it. We live here. We love our land. We don't want to see it destroyed. We don't want to see it harmed. And we don't need the federal government to tell us how to do that. We don't need the federal government to keep us off of our own land just because somebody in Washington, D.C. decides that that's a really good idea, because it makes them feel warm and fuzzy inside to say, do you know what I want to do today? I want to further limit what Utahns can do on their own land. I want to tell a group of people in a county in southeastern Utah, a county where people are already struggling financially for a whole host of reasons, that that their economic situation is about to get even more dire than it already is. We need to help him understand the real-world practical consequences of this, particularly for the poor and middle class in our state, and for members of our Indian tribes who regard this land as sacred and who don't want their access to this sacred land restricted. We need to also make clear that we expect the President of the United States to respect our sovereignty as a state and to respect our desires locally, to respect and honor commitments that he and members of his administration have made in the past, to the effect that the Antiquities Act won't be used to designate monuments except in circumstances where there is widespread buy-in from the local affected populations and from those elected to represent them. We need to make clear also to the President of the United States that he will do lasting damage to the office of the presidency and lasting damage to the Antiquities Act if he proceeds, notwithstanding the overwhelming opposition to this plan, to designate it. So please continue to let your voice be heard. Continue to sign letters, to write letters, to make statements to anyone and everyone who will listen. Let's set the record straight so that we can increase, however incrementally we can, the likelihood that the President of the United States will hear our plight and will decide to stay his hand in this instance.